Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Saldina and I make IT and programming related videos. So if that is something that is of interest to you, please subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up as well. And for today's video, I wanted to do a Q&A, but developer edition Q&A. So today I have a guest with me. Here with me is Amel.
Here with me is Amel.
So introduce yourself.
Hello everybody, my name is Amel. I studied with Saldina. We also worked together on several projects, so she invited me to be a guest in her video. Hopefully we will be able to provide some interesting information for you.
Yeah, exactly. So Amel currently works as a team lead software engineer in one of the biggest companies in our country. So I wanted to have him in this video because I think that his opinion is going to be valuable to you and that he's going to provide some interesting information. So do you have anything else to add before we continue with the Q&A?
Should I say that I'm forced to do this? Because I am.
So here I have my phone and I will be reading questions for this Q&A from my phone, so let's start. The first question is, where is it? What is one thing that can distinguish you from other people on a developer job interview?
Well, honestly, there's really nothing special about it. Apart from some technical experience and background, I would say it's really crucial to be confident about yourself, about your knowledge and about your future plans, in a way that you always have to know how much you're worth and what are your ambitions.
Yeah.
So you have to be open about what is it that you want to do and what is it that you do not want to do on a position that you're applying for. That's really all there is to it.
Yeah, I like your answer. I would like to say as well that one thing that is very important is what do you have going on besides your work, outside of that work. Do you have a YouTube channel where you talk about programming, or you have a blog, or you are working on a project that is analyzing climate changes, So I see too often people coming on a job interview with this template CV, and I don't know which one is in your country, but here in European Union it is a Europass. So that is not something that is going to tell to the interviewer that you are someone who is really passionate about that job, and that is not going to really distinguish you from other people. So I think that being unique is something that is very important. And as well, I would say communication skills, good communication skills are crucial because you will be working in a team after all. So as an individual, you cannot do much. Are you ready for the second question?
I think so.
Yeah. So the second question is, for someone who is looking for their first job, what would you say is a better option? To look for a big company or to start working for a small one?
Well, me personally, I started working as a part of a team of freelancers. In fact, there were only 3 of us.
Yeah.
And it's safe to say that I was the least experienced one. I remember constant feeling of not being worthy enough, not contributing enough.
Yeah.
And I constantly felt that most of the work that had to be done was done by them, and most of the bugs that had or had not to be done were done by me.
Yeah.
So, but I really used that opportunity to learn, because all of them were light years ahead of me in terms of knowledge and experience. I was junior developer. But luckily for me, they were really supportive, so I used every possible opportunity to ask everything that was unclear for me.
A lot of junior developers are really afraid to ask questions.
No, that wasn't me. I was even going to the point where I would become a pain in the ass for them. And is it okay to say ass?
No.
Well, sorry, pain in the beep. And I was really analyzing their code a lot, and that helped me. That made me who I am today. Not someone who's copying others' code, but someone who learned a lot from others.
Yeah, and what about now?
And now I'm working in a completely different environment. I'm working in a big company that follows certain sets of rules and procedures. But knowledge that I previously acquired really prepared me for my current position. To answer your question, I'd say both options, as everything in life, have their pros and cons.
Yeah.
But you should mainly focus on finding someone that you can learn from. Finding some place that you will learn a lot. Finding some good mentors, because in the end, your knowledge is really the only thing that's truly yours. The only thing that you will carry with you no matter where you go.
Yeah. What are you doing with the hand there?
I'm explaining. I'm compensating.
Orchestrating.
I'm compensating for the lack of my coffee.
Yeah, okay, so I didn't make him a coffee. I'm sorry. Yeah, I think that you're right. I definitely think that you made a right decision of starting your first job in a smaller team rather than in a big company. And I have this opinion that if you start working for a big company at beginning, in a big company there is a lot of people that are specialized in some things, and then you will get your part of the work and you will get specialized in that, you know. And if you start working for a smaller company, then you will really have to be prepared to work anything and everything. You will be forced to learn new things, and that is going to be an opportunity for you to learn a lot more than if you were just specialized for one thing, you know.
Yes, I can completely agree. I remember that back at that time I was really covering a lot more ground. It was required from me to know a lot more things, or it seemed to me back at the time.
Both back end and front end?
Yes, I work both back end and front end. It's not, would you rather work front end or back end? You do what has to be done.
And then if you work for a big company, you will probably get your part of a project and you will work only on that. So yeah, definitely both has its pros and its cons, so it is going to be up to you to decide really. So the third question is, what is the most important thing for a junior developer to learn? For any junior developer, what advice would you give?
To learn.
Yeah.
And that is answered. It's not a question. It's not me repeating your question. But to constantly learn, and I cannot stress this enough. If you're not ready for that kind of commitment, well then hit the road, Jack. It might sound harsh, I know it does.
Yeah, I invited you to be honest, so be my guest.
But trust me, this is a profession that requires constantly being in touch with latest technologies. So if that's not something that you're up to, that you can do, just find something else. Find something that's making you happy and stop wasting time.
Yeah.
Unless if wasting time is making you happy, then I cannot really help you.
So an advice that I can give from my personal experience is that you should learn to debug. Because when I was working alone, when I was working for myself, I had zero problems in terms of understanding what the code was doing, you know, because all the code was written by me. And then when I started working for a company, then I had a problem to understand what other people's code was doing, especially if you get to work on a project that was written in the past decade, and then that project was written by a developer that wasn't having a good day, and there's no documentation available, then you really have a problem, unless you have very good debugging skills. So I think that learning proper ways of debugging is something that is going to help to every new developer.
Yeah, that's very good advice, very specific one. I personally had the same problem, and it's really a very common scenario in our profession.
Yeah.
So many of you will have benefit from this advice.
Yeah. So the fourth question, how can you spot a good developer, and then how can you spot a newbie? So give me the first thing that comes to your mind.
Good developers drink more coffee.
I don't drink coffee at all.
My point exactly.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
You probably want me to be a bit more specific, so let me put it this way. Good developer spends less time writing code and more time planning it. They also write extensive documentations. They are commenting their code for future reference. They are committing their code daily. They are listening advices from their colleagues. Also, good developers, they do not spend a lot of time watching video tutorials. But now, before all of you start thinking about unsubscribing keep in mind that at some point in time, every good developer was beginner, and they were probably spending a lot of time watching video tutorials. And for that, now you have a CodeBeauty.
Oh, thank you. Can you please say like, share, and subscribe?
No, sorry, you paid only for this much.
So a good developer, in my opinion, is someone who knows how to listen and how to ask the right question. Because it happens too often that a product manager comes with this great idea that is going to sell to every client, but they have overlooked so many things, you know. And then a good developer is someone who can say, okay, if we implement this, then in 3 months we are going to have this problem, you know. And in my opinion, a good developer should know how the system was built in the past, and then he should know how the things should be implemented so that that system is something that is maintainable in the future. And then how can you recognize a newbie, a junior developer? Well, I can answer this question from my personal experience, and I personally knew a lot of these concepts individually, but what I didn't know is how these concepts worked together, you know, how to put these concepts together. So I would say that that is something that is very unique characteristic to a newbie, you know, that together with the ability to write code and then read code, test, and things like that.
Now you're really making me look bad, because all of your advices are very specific to our topic.
Yeah.
Compared to mine.
Yeah, I prepared for this video. I didn't give him the questions. Actually, he didn't want to see the questions. So the fifth question that I have, and the last one, is where is it? So give me 2 reasons why someone should become a software developer, and then one reason why he shouldn't.
Well, software development is definitely a future, which means that as a developer you have and you will have many options to choose from when it comes to your personal creativity or your personal employment. That also includes financial stability, which is very important to all of us. As a developer, you don't have to be tied to a certain company or a certain place of living. You have that beautiful freedom to work from anywhere around the world for anyone across the world. Also, I would say that we as developers have even more possibilities to start our own businesses and not to spend our entire career span working for someone else. Now, when you ask me about downsides of this profession, when you ask me why someone shouldn't become software developer, first and probably most important thing that comes to my mind is don't do it if you don't like it. Me personally, I'm a firm believer in doing what you like, what you're passionate about, over than what's popular at the time, what everyone else is doing, what is more profitable.
Yeah.
Simple as that, I'd say that's it.
For me as well. I think that one of the most important characteristics of this job that I'm doing and why I'm doing what am I doing is because I see purpose in this, you know. I'm writing code which is going to become an application that is going to help someone, that is going to solve a particular problem, make someone's life easier. And the same thing with these videos that I make. I make them because I think that people can benefit from them, I hope. So that is something that is very important for me. And then the thing that you mentioned, so the financial nature of this job, that is something that is important as well, you know, because as a software developer, you do have more opportunities. You can choose which company you want to work for, and then which company you don't want to work for. And you can work wherever you want, whenever you want, you know, you're aware of it yourself. So I would say those are very important reasons. But one thing that I think can discourage a lot of people from this is that this can be overwhelming sometimes, in a way that there is constantly new information, new languages, new frameworks, you know, and you can get overwhelmed by all of that. So a lot of junior developers think that they are the only ones who face that problem. You know, they think that they are the only ones that don't understand something, but that is something that happens to every one of us. You know, I think
we
that you
all
would
had that.
agree.
We all had that point when we thought, oh, it's too much. I can't do this.
Yes. So that is exactly my point. So you will have to have these days where you have just chill, easy tasks so that you don't burn out in the long run. But you will as well have to challenge yourself so that you know that you are making progress, that you are growing as a developer. And I think that the most important thing is to find balance between those two, you know. So that will be all for this video. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you want me to make more videos like this, please put your questions in the comments section, and then give this video a thumbs up as well, so that I know that you want me to make more videos like this. And then I want to thank you for being a guest on my channel.
Thank you for inviting me. I really hope that I provided some useful information for all of you.
Yeah, definitely. So thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you in some other video. Bye!
Bye!